previously on Comics and Stuff.
Now, don't get me wrong, the windshield is still a problem on both, but I just feel that the windshield is more of a problem on the Bentley than it is for the Corvette. Problem solved. What's up, guys? My name is Ron from Comics and Stuff, and for today's episode, I'm gonna throw you guys a freaking curveball because this video doesn't have nothing to do with Wolverine. Surprisingly, because of his small stature, Wolverine, as well as the female figures, could basically fit in any of these vehicles. You know, they got the least problems. The ones that are having the most problems are the Havocs, are the SpiderMans, the G.I.Joes. So this episode right here is dedicated to the boys. And the problem all stems from the windshield. I mean, the windshield is either too close to their face or their eye line is right above it or right on it. It just doesn't look too good. And I thought to myself, what if there was no windshield? And with that realization, I just scoured the whole internet and I came upon this Lamborghini Aventador by Rastar. And if you guys followed my videos for a while, you know that we are pretty familiar with Rastar. I mean, we did a video on the Rastar Bentley. And if you saw that video, I will leave a link up, guys. But if you saw that video, you saw that it needed to be modded in order to get the results that we wanted. So I know full well going into this vehicle that there might be some modding needed. But before we get into that, let's get into the package. As you can see, Aventador written down there, Lamborghini emblem right there, Rastar right there, and a clear window box showing the car, which looks rather nice. Aventador right there at the top, Lamborghini right there, Rastar right there. As we go to the back, there's the Lamborghini emblem as well as the legalities. The other side right here, trying to fit that in between, guys. Lamborghini emblem. The other side, I shouldn't have done that. The other side is just a clear window, guys. I'm just gonna show the back so you guys can see that. Basically directions, the under chases of the car, where to put the batteries, the remote control, blah, warnings. Now, let's open this bad boy up and see what it is we gotta do in order to fit figures in. All right, and here is the Lambo outside of the box. Now, I wanted to show you guys how some figures are able to fit without any modding. I mean, the biggest you could go is basically about a Toy Biz Cyclops range for the driver's side, and Marvel Legends female figures. We got Age of Apocalypse Jean Grey right there. Can somewhat be fudgeable, as you guys could see, in certain angles, especially the side and the front. That doesn't look bad, but when you look through the top, it doesn't look good. I mean, Cyclops right here doesn't look bad at all, even from the top, but you do gotta squirm, you gotta play around in order for them to even look that good. So I did want to show how that looks without any modding, because we're gonna cut this up, guys. We're gonna straight up perform surgery on it. But before we do that, let's get into the measurements right here. Lengthwise, it stands at about 15 inches, as you guys can see. And from the floor to the top of the seat right here, stands at about 4 inches, give or take. Widthwise, it stands at about 6 1/4-ish. Again, give or take. Now, I wanted to get into the accessories because it really doesn't have much. I mean, the most important accessory is this steering control, which is used to control the actual car itself, with the appropriated arrows doing what they're meant to do. Up means forward, down means back, left and right, move the wheels. And just like the Rastar Bentley, it came in frustration-free packaging. I mean, the car was attached to the cardboard in the box with these little things right here. And when you go to the bottom, so I suggest not throwing them out, guys, because they do act like a stand. As you could tell, you could just plug them in, twist them like so. There's no way to have the lights, be stationary. So these little stands are necessary for you to move the car like so without it just running off the table. Now I wanted to show those lights because those lights, just like the Bentley again, they do look rather good. Let me show the back lights right here. Again, doesn't look bad. And if you guys are like wondering, Ron, how does it scale with the Bentley? Well, I do have the Bentley right here. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. They're basically almost the same exact size. So that means that this car scales well with the Bentley, and it will also scale well with the Solo Chevy Corvette because, again, they're 1/12 scale. Doesn't scale too well with the Bratz car, but the Bratz car, you could pull it off as it just being a bigger car in general. All right, now we went through the measurements, we went through the lights, we went through the accessories. Let's go through the actual look of the car. First, let's get these figures out. All right. Now, this car, guys, actually looks pretty dang good. I mean, check out the sheen on that red. I know it's not paint. I know it's just plastic, but they do a convincing job of making it look like an actual car. I mean, it got the vents. I am a little disappointed though that the black right here didn't go around, so that looks a little sloppy. The rims are black, the brake discs are gray, and it got the Lamborghini emblem right there. The wheels are of a good rubber. Of course, they're gonna need to be because they're gonna be driving and everything like that through actual concrete or whatever you may drive it through. So it's gonna need also suspension, which thankfully all tires got. When we go to the bottom, it's a basic sculpt, and you got the wheel alignment right there. 5 AA batteries go in there. Going to the front, we got the Lamborghini emblem. There is carbon fiber that has nice texture. When we go to the back, mufflers, the license plate, again, some texture to that carbon fiber. The wing got a little bit of give, but again, textured, which is cool. Now, you know that the trunk doesn't open, the hood doesn't open, the doors don't open. This is just an RC vehicle that hopefully will fit 1/12 scale figures. With that being said though, it does have an engine there that you unfortunately can't get to, but it is sculpted, there is sculpt, there is paint, all that. So that's pretty cool. When it comes to the interior, the seats got that same texture, but it is a little rough on the sides. And that wasn't me, guys, it just came like that. And there is a little give to these seats, like there's a little space back there. So thankfully, that actually works pretty good in order to try to squeeze figures in. I mean, the Toy Biz Cyclops, you know, he's there, but you gotta really like push him in there. He's basically just the right size. Now, they do have reflective stickers for the mirrors right there in the middle as well. Carbon fiber. And this doesn't look bad at all, guys. It doesn't look bad at all. Anyway, now that we went through everything, let's open this up, tear it apart, and see what figures we could make fit in even better. Now for this part of the video, I'm just gonna go through the modding process in case you guys are interested. Get yourself a good screwdriver that's not worn down and get past these 10 screws right here. Now there is 2 extra screws than there was on the Bentley, and that's attributed to the mud flaps located in the back tires. Once you do get through those screws, pry it apart slowly. There are a couple of wires that are held to the car with tape, so you're gonna have to take that tape off, and once you do that, put them side by side and get past these 6 extra screws. 2 of them are located near the middle, and again, those are 2 extra screws that the Bentley didn't have. And you're probably wondering to yourself, what about those 4 screws that are in the middle? Those are actually for the seats. So if you want, you could release those and take off the seat entirely or just do some extra modification, but it's not necessary in order to fit 1/12 scale figures. But once you have gotten through the screws and the dashboard is finally released, get your craft saw, get your Dremel, whatever it is you want to use in order to make these holes, and start getting to work. Now you're going to want to end your cut right before this pillar ends because that's where the dashboard starts. But once I started cutting, I noticed that if you push the dashboard and push the side paneling, it's able to pop off the dashboard entirely. And that way you could make your cuts without worrying too much about scratching it up. Now there was one pedal with this car, but I decided to sew it off because I didn't want nothing obstructing the legs and anything. So nobody's gonna see that, guys. Just cut it off. So once I was happy with the holes that I made, it's time to get to the next part of the mod, and that's cutting this wall off that's next to the front tires. What I did was saw along the walls and then basically just scored the bottom a bit and wiggled it back and forth until it finally snapped. And after all that was done, I carefully put the wires where the tape was and put the car back together. But was this mod a success? So yeah, the mod was a success. Not only that, it was a big success. As you guys could tell, there are a couple of new faces in the lineup, starting with Snake Eyes right here on the left, Ben Reilly Spider-Man right there on the hood, Luis in the middle, animated series Cyclops right next to him, and book ending them all is Sergeant Slaughter. Now you know, if Sergeant Slaughter is in the lineup, then we stumbled upon something special. So with that being said, let's head into the comparisons. Alright guys, here we have the Ben Reilly Spider-Man in front of the Lambo, and he looks good. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, why did I switch it up? Wasn't Snake Eyes supposed to be first? He was, but Snake Eyes is a little bit harder to enter the vehicle right here than Spider-Man, because Spider-Man got skinnier legs and everything like that. And I wanted to show you how I pre-posed them and basically do it on camera. And I didn't want to take too much time doing it. So as you can see, Spider-Man looks good, all right? But how I pre-pose them, go like that. This one, have it slightly bent because, like I said, that wall is a hindrance to it. I like to put this leg in first and then work my way to that leg. And of course, I also bring up the arms. Hold up a second, guys. Let me bring up the arms real quick. So that way they don't interfere when I put them inside. All right, like I said, this leg in first, then work my way with this leg, adjust it around. And also you're gonna have to work the thigh swivel so that you could get the optimal space in there. And there we go. Doesn't look too bad at all, guys. Not bad at all. And they actually fit pretty dang good. Like, it's not that tough to get them in. You know, you gotta finagle some characters. But Ben Reilly Spider-Man right here, I think is a success. So let's go on to Snake Eyes now. Alright, and here is Snake Eyes in front of the Lambo. You can tell he looks good. And like I said, guys, from here on out, I'm gonna edit the process of putting them inside the vehicle. But with that being said, I think he looks fantastic. And here he is inside of the vehicle. Now, I got him with the Ninja Star hand, you know, but whatever. As you can see, his arm's length is pretty much right there with the steering wheel. He looks good sitting inside. Doesn't look weird at all from the front. Not too bad from the side. So Snake Eyes is another success. Let's now go to Luis. And here is Luis in front of the Lambo. And of course, I chose Luis because he is a suited body. So he'll represent basically the corrupt businessman or mafia boss. And I think it's a good car for that kind of a character. And as you can see, Luis doesn't look too bad inside of the Lambo. Now, I wanted to point out something though, guys, is that he got the worst ab articulation from all of the figures. So you can't make him look super comfortable in it. Like he looks a little stiff. But I still think that's pretty dang fudgeable. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, here is the animated series Cyclops in front of the Lambo. And just like every other character, he looks super good in front of it, but let's see how good he looks inside of it. And here's Cyclops inside of the vehicle. And guys, he is one of the bigger figures in this roster. And I think this looks super good. One thing I want to point out, guys, he was actually a little bit easier than Luis. But one thing I wanted to point out, guys, is that no matter what, you're going to have to play with the thigh swivel. And yeah, play with it while you're putting them inside, just like I showed you with SpiderMan. And he doesn't look bad. I mean, look at his legs. It looks like he's meant to go in there. Doesn't have a bad front profile. Doesn't have a bad side profile. This car might be the one for these type of figures. So let's head into our biggest figure in this lineup, which is Sergeant Slaughter. And here we have Sergeant Slaughter in front of the Lambo. Now, despite his size, I still think that he looks rather good. And here he is inside of the vehicle. Now, he might be a little bit big, but I don't know. My eyes are playing tricks on me. I'm thinking he looks just good. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. And come on, guys. You didn't really think I let Wolverine not try it. Here he is in front of the vehicle. And here he is inside of it. And as expected, guys, he looks good in it. I mean, Wolverine looks good almost in all of these 1/12 scale vehicles. I did want to point out that the boots are a little bit of a hindrance. So you're going to want to be careful with that. Also with Sergeant Slaughter, like he's a bigger thighed character. And the pants got a lot of wrinkles. So you're going to want to be careful with those wrinkles and stuff, not to scuff them up. But now that the comparisons were done, it was time for the final test, and that was the RC capabilities itself. And I decided to take Ben Reilly's Spider-Man and Duke out for a spin since they've been here for quite a bit. Now I put the Lambo on this turf right here to see how it would do in rough terrain. And I put fresh batteries in it, guys, so keep that in mind because it had quite a bit of trouble getting through any of the little bumps. So don't be expecting any Dukes of Hazzard stunts. In fact, I think that the motor is a little less powerful than the Bentley. However, when you put in a somewhat smoother, more level terrain, it gets the job done. So I can't really complain. It did have its little hiccups, but nothing that you can't get past with pressing the forward or back, fidgeting with it. And over here, I just wanted to drive it at night just to show you guys how the lights look like. So what do you guys think about this vehicle? Personally, I think that the no windshield thing was a pure stroke of genius. I mean, it looks good. A couple of big characters can fit, so I can't really get mad at that. I also think that it's a great Cobra civilian vehicle. So I'm pretty excited about this car. In fact, I think it's kind of a gem. If you guys are interested, I will leave an affiliate link down in the descriptions. If you liked the video, consider subscribing. Also hit the like and comment, I want to know your thoughts on this. My name is Ron from Comics and Stuff, and I'll check you guys on the next episode. Peace.